This impressive country house behind me was primarily built to show off its owner's possessions rather than for the comfort of the people living in it. So which county is home to this unusual building? I'll reveal all in just a few moments' time. On today's show, we're helping a couple buy their first shared home together. We get warm with one of our properties.
Oh, it's lovely.
But then things heat up.
I was going to say put the electric blanket on.
Oh, Tony! Today I'm in Suffolk and this is Ickworth House. Built in the Italianate style, its two sprawling wings and central rotunda were the vision of one Frederick Harvey, who was the Bishop of Derry and the Earl of Bristol during the 18th century. Now, Harvey had a lust for travel and was an avid collector of paintings by the likes of Titian and Gainsborough. Of course, he needed a home for all his treasures, and this spectacular neoclassical masterpiece was the result. And it's just one of the many historic gems you'll find within Suffolk's borders. As one of the three counties that make up the renowned Hump of East Anglia, low-lying Suffolk holds on to much of its distinct character and is home to varied landscapes. The Suffolk coast, 45 miles of fine golden sand and pebble beaches, is dotted with beautiful seaside towns, including Aldborough, famous for its pastel-painted Victorian villas. Inland Suffolk wears its history on its sleeve. The town of Clare, for example, is one of a cluster of small settlements, which rose to prominence in the medieval era thanks to the prosperous cloth trade. The wealth of the town is reflected in the enormity of the 14th century parish church of St Peter and St Paul. From coastal heathlands to historic wall towns, the county of Suffolk entertains sights that will enchant any escapee. You would expect all this natural beauty to come at a hefty price, but the good news is that's not the case here in Suffolk. The average price for detached property is £242,000. That's £12,000 less than the national figure, so this county represents real value for money. Of course, like anywhere, there are hot spots. Desirable seaside locations such as Southwold or the beautiful walled town of Lavenham, they do command a premium. However, if you travel northwest towards the Norfolk border, you'll find you get just that little bit more for your money. So will our lineup of Suffolk properties please today's buyers? It's time to meet them. Tony and Nicole have been together in Nottingham for 5 years, both coming from previous relationships. And a chance to buy their first property together is the driving force behind this move to Suffolk.
It's quite late on in life and we're just looking for somewhere to live together, you know, as a combined home instead of living separately.
I think it's the right time. It would be lovely to spend the rest of our lives together, somewhere nice and in the country.
The couple met each other at the local tennis club.
I've been playing tennis for about 25 years now, properly. I think you've been playing for?
About 12 years now, a bit more.
And now we just get the chance to play together all the time.
For recent retiree Tony, the move is a chance to relive his youth.
Although I spent my childhood in the countryside, the majority of my life's been in the city, and I really do like the idea of living somewhere peaceful and quiet and waking up and not seeing houses.
Tony and Nicole have chosen Suffolk because it's midway between their respective families. For Nicole, it's an opportunity to settle down at last.
When I was 21, I moved to Bermuda, so I lived there for 6-7 years. And then got married and we lived in Stockholm in Sweden. And then recently Hong Kong. I felt I've never put my roots down anywhere since I was a teenager. So it would be absolutely wonderful to be able to move with Tony to a corner of England and be together.
Whilst Tony is keen to have a workshop, Nicole wants to put her gardening skills into practice.
Where I live at the moment, I've got a north-facing garden on tiers, which is not only a bit dangerous, but it has no sun, really.
At the moment, I'm in the garage and I have to take the car out the garage to do anything at all. I would just love an outbuilding just away from the house where I can do whatever I want.
All that's left is to find out how much they've got to spend on the new home.
The budget for the move would be $375,000 to $425,000.
Tony and Nicole want to avoid the more remote coastal areas of Suffolk, so we're concentrating our search area inland around Bury St Edmunds. And that's where I've come to meet our buyers, to find out what they want from their new home. Well, Tony and Nicole, here we are in Suffolk. Well, quite an interesting journey, the way you decided this is the county that you want to live in. I've got visions of you both with a map and a pin, just deciding where it's going to be.
It wasn't quite like that. Tony's from Nottingham, I'm from London. We decided it was going to be compromise and halfway between his neck of the woods and my neck of the woods.
As you haven't bought a house before, what are you both looking for together in this property?
I tend to want older types, you know, Georgian, Victorian type of house.
And I'm more contemporary. I don't mind the old-looking outside, but a new inside's nice.
Minimum 3 bedrooms, a nice big kitchen with kitchen diner. Definitely a south-facing garden.
What about location? Near a village, outside of a village?
Outside the village, but, you know, not sort of breaking contact with people, or not too isolated.
We like a bit of privacy.
So remind us of your budget for this search.
375 to 425.
OK, well, we've got 3 properties lined up, so should we start with the first one?
Yeah.
That's a good one. For a maximum budget of £425,000, Tony and Nicole want a house with character, but they aren't in agreement on how old it should be. It should have a minimum of 3 bedrooms, a large kitchen or kitchen diner, and for Nicole, a garden that gets the sun. Tony would like a large garage or separate outbuilding for a workshop, and they'd like to be close to a village, but still have some degree of privacy. We found 3 fantastic properties to show them, and at each one I'll be revealing the price at the end of the tour. The last one will be our mystery house, which marries something old with something new. Are you excited about moving to a fresh county?
Oh, yeah. It's nice to have a change. It's now all your sort of parental duties are finished. It's nice just to get on with your own life, really.
For our first property, we're heading to the village of Hinderclay, which is around 14 miles from Bury St Edmunds. The closest amenities are found in the larger village of Botsdale, about 2.5 miles away. In earlier times, it was a stop-off for horse-drawn carriages travelling between Norwich and London, and today, much of the village is a conservation area. The old marketplace is surrounded by a range of shops and pubs. There's also a post office, painted in the familiar Suffolk pink, and it's just down the road from our first offering. So here is your first property in Suffolk.
Nice.
Lovely. Very pretty cottage.
Can you date it?
I'd say Victorian, or is it new? With new bits in it.
1890.
I'm impressed with both of you. Very good. 1973. And that is exactly the reaction I wanted to hear, because I would never have guessed it. It's certainly got character and charm, but let's see if you think the same. Let's go. Clearly, looks can be deceiving, but the inside of the property is definitely modern. Here's your sitting room.
Lovely.
Nice size.
Very nice. Light.
Nice fireplace.
Oh, yeah, working fireplace?
Yep, working fireplace. Yes. What about the ceiling height? Because you're both quite tall.
Yeah, no, it's
That's
good.
fine, yeah.
Yeah?
7'6".
Yeah. Is that what it is? Can you work it out? That's impressive, Tony. I like that. Good first room to see.
Very good, yeah.
Positive reactions.
Yes.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah. OK, well, we'll continue through.
Okay.
It's through the double doors. At the moment, it's being used as a music room.
This could be a study as well, couldn't it?
Could easily
Dining
be a
room.
study, couldn't it? Dining room, but then you have this.
Oh, it's lovely.
So,
That's nice.
Yeah?
Very, very nice, yeah.
Really lovely.
And a wood burner there.
yeah, multi-fuel, so that works all year round. Coal, wood. You wanted a period property.
Yeah.
You ideally would have liked a brand new property.
But this is
Good
quite
compromise,
yeah.
This is quite newish.
Yeah, it is. Right, OK, well, follow me. We're going to head upstairs now. I was hoping the high-spec interior of our first house would appeal to Tony, but I'm really happy that Nicole appears taken by it too. The ground floor also includes this garden room off the kitchen with doors out onto a patio, a utility room and a downstairs toilet, and at the front of the house, a good-sized study. Upstairs, there are 4 bedrooms, one more than they asked for, and a 4-piece family bathroom. All of the bedrooms are doubles. 3 of them overlook the front of the property and are south-facing, taking full advantage of the sun. But I want to show them the largest of the doubles. So, here is the master bedroom.
Oh, nice ceiling. Very nice.
Nice and tall.
As this is the master, got an
And
ensuite.
Ah, wonderful.
do you want to
Have a
poke?
look?
Yes, please do.
Little
Poke
view.
your head round.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it's lovely. Like the tongue and groove. Is there anywhere to put your clothes, though, in here?
You have a little walk-in wardrobe there.
Fantastic. Really, really nice. And it overlooks the garden. It's pretty.
Yeah,
It is
last
very
bit.
pretty. I know the outside space is really important, especially the garden, the amount of sunlight it gets. I'm hoping you're not going to be disappointed with what I'm about to show you. The garden surrounds the entire house, and there are numerous seating areas for entertaining, log storage for that wood burner and open fire, as well as a vegetable patch and extensive lawns at either end of the house. So you've got 2 gardens here, if you like.
Fabulous, fabulous.
You've also got a double garage,
Yeah, I just noticed
a
that.
greenhouse. If that doesn't satisfy your gardening needs, I don't know what
that's
doesn't.
gorgeous.
This part of the garden will get sun nearly all day.
Delightful.
It's a great
Lovely.
first house, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very strong house. But what's the price? Who wants to go first for me?
Me.
Okay. Go on, Tony.
420.
OK.
I was going to say around about the same. I'll say 425.
OK. We were both very close. It's actually on the market for £435,000.
right.
So 10,000 over your budget.
Okay.
Has come down quite considerably in price, actually. It was a lot more than that, and the owners are desperate to move. They found somewhere else, so they are happy to have a conversation with you. They're aware of your top budget. And the one thing I will say with this property is it doesn't need any money spending on
No,
it.
it doesn't.
exactly, yeah.
Exactly. It's very,
So
very lovely.
it is only the first one. I know you're holding back slightly, but I can tell you like it. Would you like another wander around? There's still some more rooms you can
Yeah.
explore
Yeah, I'd love
on
to.
your own. Off you go. On the market for £435,000, our first property is slightly over Tony and Nicole's maximum budget. Built in the 1970s, it's a modern family home that's been designed to a high standard. It has 4 double bedrooms, a spacious kitchen diner and a double garage that could be Tony's workshop. The garden gets sun all year round and the house is close to a vibrant village.
Wow.
My workshop. Yes, a fair size.
Yeah. It's bigger than the one you got at home.
Twice the size, yeah. I was pleasantly surprised when I found out it was modern because it's Nicole that likes the older stuff and I like the more modern stuff, so it's a very, very good start. The upstairs is fine. It got an ensuite, which is a bonus, and an extra bedroom as well, you know, plus the workshop and fair-sized gardens. It's a nice house, very, very nice house, and very hard to find any fault with it.
I love the kitchen. It's very light and spacious. It's got a wood burner in it, which is excellent. It's got a nice room off it. It's just very light, and I can just feel myself in the kitchen all the time. So far, I can't see any negatives about the house. It just seems exquisite in every way.
Happy you two?
Yes?
Yeah,
Seen enough?
Very, very nice.
Good. How do you feel about our first property?
It's a great first house.
Good. Okay, more to show you. Right, let's go. Nicole couldn't have chosen a better county to indulge in her passion for gardening. Its low-lying geography and sunny climate make Suffolk an excellent spot for those with green fingers. One of the county's most impressive formal gardens is here at Kentwell Hall, a Tudor mansion and family home. We sent Nicole and Tony to find out what grows well in Suffolk soil from the owner responsible for its extensive grounds, Judith Phillips.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome, welcome.
One feature has immediately caught the eye of Nicole, an unusual topiary representing the legend of the Pied Piper of Hamelin.
What is the hedge? Is it yew?
It's yew. It's a yew hedge, and yew grows very, very well here because it's organic, because it's growing all the time. It changes.
Yeah.
And some years, some figures turn their tops that way or that way, and we've had one or two who've actually skirts got so wide that they've actually become children around the skirts. Nice. And then beyond there, we've got the wall garden. The wall garden is probably an original cattle pound, so that when the house was first built, it would have been an area where the cattle and sheep would have been brought in. It was then redesigned as a pleasure garden. So that probably was in the late 16th century, early 17th century.
As one of the property's highlights, the walled garden has been extensively restored by Judith and her team at Kentwell, and Nicole and Tony are keen to see more.
We have a variety of different things here. It's all based around the ancient espalier trees, which were planted in the 16th, 17th century. And then we have our potager and our herb garden over there, and all the lovely wildflowers which we cherish in the springtime.
So when we moved to Suffolk, what kind of natural plants would grow in the Suffolk soil? What kind of?
We got a lime soil here.
Okay.
It's basically heavy clay. It maintains the moisture, it retains moisture, which is great, which is why this green lawn will remain green virtually the whole of the summer. Roses grow very well, again, because you don't have to do all the mulching and the watering and so on. The clay will hold them there. And things like fuchsias do very well as well. On the wilder side, things like the cowslips and oxlips and the forget-me-nots and primroses, pulmonary. So it's always nice to have a part of your garden where you're encouraging all those naturally growing flowers.
With this local insight under their belts, we just need to find Tony and Nicole some fertile Suffolk soil of their own. And with that in mind, it's back to our house search. For our second property, we're venturing 20 miles south to the hamlet of Barking. The closest amenities are to be found in the nearby town of Needham Market, whose many buildings are Grade 2 listed. It rose to prominence in the early 17th century as a centre for wool combing, where they prepared the yarn for the local weavers. But in the 1660s, the town was struck down by the plague, and its industry was all but abandoned. Today, it's a thriving market town once again, and our second house is a 5-minute drive away. It couldn't be more different to our first, in age at least, and I fear I might have my work cut out with Tony.
Gorgeous.
Suffolk pink.
Yeah, Suffolk pink.
Suffolk pink, you're absolutely right. And you're muttering gorgeous, gorgeous as we're walking up the gravel drive.
Beautiful. Absolutely stunning. It just, to me, it's
Very
just...
nice. I'll wait till I see it.
I like the outside, but it's beautiful.
Great reactions from you. You've loved it straight away as we walk through the gates. Tony, on the other hand, I think I've got some convincing to do, haven't I?
Looking at that, there might be light at the end of the tunnel.
The garage, or in case it's a workshop. Yeah. I mean, you have always said that you wanted a more modern property, and Nicole, you've said you want an old property. So I think you can gather which one we're catering for with this house. OK, you ready for this? Parts of the house date back to 1450. The rest of it is 1600. Look at the smile. Right, and on that note, we're going to step inside. Come on.
Wow.
Well, the double garage has kept Tony with us for now at least, and I'm sure the historic charms of this Suffolk pink former farmhouse will eventually rub off on him. Let's come into our sitting room. There's actually two with this property.
2 sitting rooms.
2 sitting rooms,
This is lovely. quite light, considering
High
there's lots
beams,
of
I
beams.
thought, as well, yeah.
They are
Lot
high, aren't they?
Yeah.
How do you feel about beams? Was that on the wish list
No,
or the
I've got
not wish
no
list?
problem with beams. It's just ones that actually bang my head on I don't like.
The house sort of does a circle around the fireplace, which they often
right.
used to. So if you follow me through this
Okay.
door. So your second sitting room come dining area, as you can see,
Lovely.
goes round.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Two huge fireplaces. So is it a building being old that puts you off, or is it the prospect of having to do some more work on it?
Possibly doing some more work, the maintaining of it.
Ah, so
If
it's the practicalities.
Yeah.
Oh, I can work on that one, Tony. I can definitely work on that. Let's go through to the kitchen.
Okay.
Now this is the oldest part of the property.
Gosh.
This is part that dates back to 1450. Originally, this was a hall house.
Okay. It's quite small for a kitchen, but obviously it's got a lot of character.
The owners have had planning permission to extend it. Now, that permission has lapsed.
Out there, that way.
To make it bigger. What you've got to bear in mind is this house is Grade 2 listed.
Oh.
But the fact that permission was granted already shows that with the right paperwork and working with the local council, you know, permission can be granted. Have I won you over yet, Tony? Keep looking at
Nearly,
you.
I need to go upstairs, I think.
Yeah, oh, I
Check out
see.
the
He's postponing any comments, isn't he? The ground floor also features a small study area to the side of the second sitting room and a utility room with a toilet. Upstairs, there are 5 bedrooms in total across 2 floors, all serviced by a family bathroom. 3 of those bedrooms are found on the first floor, all with exposed timbers. But there's also an attic where you'll find another double bedroom and a large study that could easily be turned into a sleeping area. But by far the largest bedroom in the house is back down on the first floor. So,
Lovely light room.
it is. And
Really nice.
little storage area there as well.
Look in there.
And as you walk in, I find this room really impactful. You know, it sort of it took my breath away.
Yeah, it is really nice.
Yeah.
I like the position of the
room.
bed there. And the open views, really lovely.
Yeah, lovely views.
So this has got you both thinking, hasn't it? Let's go outside, take a look at the garden and the garage stroke workshops for Tony. And then, of course, I'm going to ask you about the price, aren't I?
Okay.
There are lawned gardens at both the front and rear of the property, as well as a vegetable patch, a greenhouse, and a timber-framed former stable, which is useful for storage. And of course, the spacious double garage, which should keep Tony happy. So, Nicole, I know you love your gardens.
It's a beautiful garden.
How much is it on the market for?
I would say a little bit more, probably 440.
Yeah, because it's listed. It's got a lot of history attached. I would say, I'm not very good at this, 430.
You're both not bad at this. I've got to be honest, you're not bad. And the owners are asking for offers over £400,000.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay.
That give you something to think about?
Definitely.
Yeah.
You're very
Don't deserve her.
excited. Yeah, Tony's quite reserved. But I'm not going to push you because you've been very good. Why don't you take another look around?
Okay.
I'll see you two in a minute. Off you go, have some fun. At offers above £400,000, our second property is a timber-framed Grade 2 listed former farmhouse, parts of which date back to the 1450s. The accommodation includes 2 sitting rooms and a large kitchen in the oldest part of the house. Upstairs, there are 5 bedrooms spread across 2 floors. The gardens include substantial lawn areas and a spacious double garage, and the house is within striking distance of a bustling market town.
Oh, gosh. What a lovely room in the eaves. Isn't it? It's amazing.
It is.
Wow, I didn't expect this up here. It just feels incredible, the history. It was a real pleasure to walk around. So, the kitchen, which was the hall house originally, I mean, that's fascinating in itself. I just thought it was amazing, and it was a fascinating house.
This house has got so much character and it's amazing just to be in it. Whether or not I could actually live in it is totally different.
All right, you two, How are you feeling? That's 2 of our 3 houses you've now seen.
Amazing.
Yeah.
2 totally different houses. They're both amazing houses, but in different ways.
We've got you thinking, haven't we?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Fascinating house.
Let's hit the road. It's day 2 of our property search, and on a maximum budget of £425,000, we're helping Nottingham tennis partners Tony and Nicole hit their stride in Suffolk. Coming up, we get consensus at the Mystery House. You're taken with this, aren't you?
Yeah.
Very, very nice.
We are.
And I weave my way around one of Suffolk's textile industries. OK, 1, 2, 3. Yesterday got off to a great start for our sporty couple, Tony and Nicole. 2 fantastic houses, although I do think it will take some convincing for Tony to get over his reservations about period homes. Today it's time for our mystery house, and I'm hoping to accommodate both Nicole's love of history with Tony's desire for modern living. I've got a feeling that the mystery house will really make a splash. What are you hoping to see?
Something really old-looking outside and fantastically new inside, perhaps.
Anything you're dreading we're taking you to see?
Bungalow.
Good answer. Tony?
An even older house.
For our mystery house, we're heading 20 miles northeast, deeper into rural Suffolk to the hamlet of Wilby. The closest village, Stradbrook, is 1.5 miles away, and we're making a quick stop there as it has facilities more fitting of a small town, including something I think our sporty couple will enjoy. Now, I know you're both itching to see the mystery house, but I've stopped off in this village because, well, it would be the closest village to the next house that has amenities. And I know that's important for you both.
Yeah.
So as you probably see, it's beautiful, full of old buildings, but most importantly, it has a post office, a local shop, it's got some pubs. But even though we're in a rural location, this village has got a fitness centre.
Wow. That's good.
And what is it you're both obsessed with?
Tennis.
Tennis. It's got tennis courts, swimming pool, it's got a gym, and literally the mystery house is 1.5 miles up the road.
That's brilliant.
So, have I whetted your appetite enough?
You have.
Indeed.
Yeah, looking forward to this next house?
We are.
I'm going to be keeping my fingers crossed it can do its magic. Right, we'll go. Merging Nicole's old with Tony's new was always going to be tricky here in Suffolk. I hope we've done it with our mystery house. And what's more, it may give our tennis-loving couple something they'd never considered having in their own home. House was built in the sort of mid to late 1980s. However, the original cottage that was here dates back to the 1700s. So when they demolished it, they tried to use as much of the original materials as they can.
That's good.
So you've got the luxury of a new build, but you've still got that character and charm of an old cottage.
Sounds good.
Fabulous.
So we want to keep you both happy. This is the first house you've bought together, different demands. We're hoping that the mystery house is going to marry both of those up. So our mystery house has the best of both worlds. Period features within a modern shell. And now I've set the scene, I'm keen to see if our homely hybrid will hit the mark with our buyers. Straight into our kitchen.
Very pretty.
It's nice.
Yeah,
Very
it is nice.
countrified.
So next door, you've got a downstairs cloakroom. You've also got a utility room. But, you know, yesterday one of the kitchens you thought was a little bit small. How does this compare?
Yeah, this is perfect for us.
Fine.
Good start. Yeah, OK. Right, let's continue through. Leads straight into your dining room. Again, you can see the original beams have been used.
Absolutely,
Nice
yeah,
fire.
nice fire. Look, wood burner.
Nice sized dining room.
It's great, isn't it? You mean yesterday's property?
Yeah. It's fab.
The very old house, you were completely taken by it,
Yeah.
weren't you? There's elements of it with this one.
Absolutely, yeah.
But Tony, you know, looking at it again through practical eyes,
But without the maintenance.
yeah. Keen to see more?
Absolutely.
please.
Listen, I'm happy, Tony's happy. With contentment in the air, let's see what our buyers think of the largest room in the house. So come through into your sitting room, which is dominated by this magnificent fireplace.
That's beautiful.
Incredible.
And have you seen how it's wonky, the bricks on the
Yeah.
top on the Bresma beam?
Yeah, why is that?
Well, it's believed that when the original cottage was demolished, they kept the two fireplaces because there's obviously another one on the
Yeah.
other side with the breast going up, and they built the new house around it.
Oh, okay.
That's what you call a focal point.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very pretty, very pretty.
You're united, I think, with this property.
Yeah, that's
It's drawing you in, isn't it?
You couldn't not like it, really.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, that's so lovely to hear. Our buyers may also be cheered by this charming conservatory with views out onto the patio area and just a little hint of what the garden has in store. And there's also that all-important garage which is attached to the side of the house. There are 4 bedrooms upstairs. One of those is single, another is currently being used as a study, and there's a spacious guest room. They're all serviced by a large family bathroom. But we're heading to the master, which overlooks the back of the house. So this part of the property has been extended in the last few years by the owners. So you've got the master bedroom here with an ensuite just behind me. Could you see yourselves living here? I'm pushing you now, aren't I?
I was going to say, put the electric blanket on.
Oh, Tony, music to my ears. You're taken with this, aren't you?
Yeah, it's very, very nice.
We are.
Good, that's the most, you've summed it
We
up.
are, yeah.
We are. Absolutely, Nicole, that's the important thing. It's got to be that joint decision, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Good. Well, let's hope, fingers crossed, that the garden doesn't let us down. And I don't think it will disappoint, as the garden is the highlight of our mystery house. The home occupies around 1 acre of land, and this includes an extensive lawn area to the rear, a large pond with wooden bridge and paved patio area, with the star of the show, a heated open-air swimming pool. But what will Nicole think of it? I think we need a separate tour just for the garden.
Gorgeous.
You know, you didn't ask for a swimming pool, but being the mystery house...
Just
Just
throw
goes to
one
prove
in.
how sunny it is in Suffolk.
You like the look of it as well, don't you, Tony?
Fantastic, yeah.
Oh, it goes on and on.
It
and
goes
on and on.
on and on and on. But guess what? Right at the end, beautiful bit of lawn, which could be perfect for having your own tennis court. It's that big. So do you like what you see?
I absolutely love it.
Good.
What's the catch?
Well, perhaps this is the catch. We need to talk money.
Ooh.
Who wants to go first? Because it is that time. How much is this property on the market for?
I think it's over budget. So I reckon it's about 450.
OK. Tony?
Took the words completely out of my figure as well,
wanted to go
so
first.
I'd have to go higher, 455.
It's right on your budget,
Oh.
£425,000.
That's good.
That is good.
How good is good?
Very good.
Fantastically good.
Yeah. How much would you need to spend on this house if you moved in?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh, I love your smiles, both of you. You look very happy. So do you want to have a wander around the grounds first?
yes, please.
Take a second look. Go on.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Thank you very much.
Bang on their maximum budget of £425,000, our mystery house is a modern rebuild retaining many of the original features from the older property. The accommodation includes a large kitchen and 4 bedrooms. There's a garage for Tony and for Nicole, an extensive garden with a spacious lawn and heated swimming pool.
Swimming pool.
It's got everything. It's perfect.
Yeah, lovely sunny spot.
I could see myself here.
Definitely. The house is incredible. It's done to such a high standard. There's loads of space, bags of bedrooms, and the most amazing thing is the garden outside is a huge, huge garden which just goes on and on and on and on and on. And there is potential to build a tennis court, which would be amazing, to have a tennis court at the back of your garden. Tony, I could knock up every morning.
Absolutely amazing. I don't think I've ever been in a house like it that needs absolutely nothing doing, and the refurbishment's just been done to such a high standard. It's got a little bit of old for Nicole, a few bricks and bits and bobs and beams, and yet the rest of it's totally modern, you know, and the gardens are absolutely splendid.
Oh, you two look very comfortable sitting there in the sun.
Oh, it's perfect here.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I don't want you to leave, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to drag you away.
Oh, what a shame. I could stay here forever, actually.
Well, that is a good sign. So let's go somewhere else for a chat. You can give me all your thoughts then. How about that?
Okay.
Okie dokie.
It's the end of our property search for Tony and Nicole, but if you've got your sights set on Suffolk, there are many other homes to choose from across a range of prices. If thatch takes your fancy, then how about this two-bedroom detached cottage in the village of Forward Green, on the market for offers in excess of £250,000. The rooms inside retain many of the original features and include this kitchen and dining room and a cosy sitting room with wood burner. Further up the price scale it offers, around £375,000, is this detached red brick Victorian cottage in the village of Wattisham, which comes with 5 bedrooms. The accommodation includes a large and light living room and a family bathroom with freestanding roll-top bath. Finally, on the market for £600,000, there's this Grade 2 listed 5-bedroom farmhouse in the village of Earl Stonham. Set in grounds of 3/4 of an acre, parts of the house date back to the 16th century and include this spacious sitting room with exposed beams and a guest bedroom with an ensuite bathroom to the rear. Today, Suffolk is perhaps best known as an important agricultural region, but for 600 years the county was a hive of rural industry specialising in textiles. During its heyday in the 13th century, wool towns such as Lavenham and Clare prospered. When demand for wool from Suffolk declined in the 16th century, the local weavers turned to producing lighter fabrics, including silk. The Suffolk silk industry still thrives today and is centred on the market town of Sudbury, which is where I've come, to the factory headquarters of one of its silk weaving companies. I'm meeting director Neil Thomas. Hi, Neil.
Hello, Nikki.
Great to meet you. What a showroom. Surrounded by colour. How long has the business been here?
Well, Gainsborough's been here for about 110 years, doing both a mixture of classical and contemporary fabrics.
So do you have an average client, an average customer, or is it really varied?
It varies enormously, from the normal house right through to the royal family, which we've been working with for many years, from Queen Mary's doll's house.
Her doll's house?
Yeah. Buckingham Palace, Balmoral.
My
Just
goodness.
wonderful projects.
I've got to ask about the doll's house. What was it for? The curtains inside or something?
It was for curtains and carpets.
And for Buckingham Palace?
And for Buckingham Palace, we've done this piece of fabric, for example, is an example of something that we've done for the Queen's bedchamber.
This is beautiful. And a design like this, would this have changed over the years?
No, this design is probably an 18th century French design. That may have been stylised slightly to suit English tastes over the years.
So have the weaving methods changed much over the centuries?
No, a weaver from 500 years ago would know exactly what we're doing today. We just do it slightly quicker now.
Every stage of design and production is carried out in the Sudbury factory, from preparing and dyeing the yarn to warping and weaving the silk. So this is beautiful coloured yarn, but what does silk look like right at the very beginning?
This is the very earliest stage. This is the silk cocoon, all the way from China. The cocoon is then steeped in hot water, which loosens the threads, and they can all be individually drawn off, making hanks of raw silk, which we then process here, dye it, and then it turns into the yarn that you can see winding in front of you.
So how many cocoons would be in there?
Probably in here, I would think close to 100.
Although the company produces contemporary designs using the latest machinery, some clients prefer their fabrics to be made using original methods. So Neil, this is an impressive loom. How old is this piece of machinery?
This is a 90-year-old jacquard loom, still weaving our finest quality fabrics.
My goodness.
Just by converting the design from the punch cards run through the jacquard itself, so that we can create the actual design on the fabric.
And a machine that's 90 years old is as good as anything that can be produced today?
Yeah, absolutely. It weaves our finest quality fabrics. It's basically a hand loom that's had a motor put on the side of it. But a lot of the historical reproductions that we work with insist on using the older jacquard looms.
How important is it for you? I mean, Sudbury is known as sort of the capital of the silk business, but why have you decided to keep your business here?
It's essential, really, because there are generations of skills in Sudbury which are just not available elsewhere.
So it really is the skill of the locals?
Completely, yeah.
So is it possible to see the loom in action?
Absolutely. I'll turn the power on.
Yep.
And all you need to do is to pull the bar across it quickly and the loom will start weaving.
Tell me straight away.
Hard as you can.
OK, 1, 2, 3. Whoa! And that's impressive. It's great to see a 200-year-old industry still going strong in Suffolk. But let's find out if I've weaved my magic and found Tony and Nicole a new home in the country. So we've shown Tony and Nicole our 3 properties here in Suffolk. And the last tour, the Mystery House, well, that went very well indeed, didn't it? But are they convinced enough to put in an offer? Let's go and ask them. So there we go, we've seen our 3 properties here in Suffolk. We're all still talking, so that's a good sign, and we haven't put you off moving in together, which is even better. Were you surprised at the ones we picked for you?
Yeah, you gave us a good selection. You gave us a modern house, which looked old, then you gave us an extremely ancient house, which was
also
fascinating.
looked old.
Yes, that's true. And then, of course, we showed you our mystery house.
Yeah, that was a gem. It just had everything that we both liked, and of course the garden was fantastic. Swimming pool.
It was all very well done.
Yeah, and it was
Good standard.
And as you walked into that property, did it feel like home?
It did. It had a lovely feel. It had a really lovely feel, warm, welcoming feel to it. I could just imagine us there.
Yeah, you could tell that somebody had really gone to a lot of effort to make it how it was. It was good.
So what happens next?
I think we've definitely got to go back and see house number 3.
Yes. How quickly? I've got the diary ready for you.
Very quickly.
Yeah, I would say within a week, because we're going on holiday the week after that.
Yeah,
So I think we need to move pretty quickly.
It's going to get snapped up.
I think you could both be very happy in that property.
Yeah. I'm sure
Oh,
we will.
thanks. Yeah.
Thank you very
both
much.
so
Thanks for a
much.
lovely experience.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad
It
you
was
enjoyed
brilliant.
it. We certainly have, and we love Suffolk, don't we?
We do.
Well, what a wonderful week here in Suffolk. We showed tennis-loving Tony and Nicole a fantastic mix of properties, all with their own advantages. But in the end, it was game, set and match for our mystery house. Until next time, bye-bye. Tony and Nicole went back to our mystery property, but although the house was perfect, they felt the location was too remote. The search for their first house together continues. If you'd like to escape to the country in England, Wales, Northern Ireland, Scotland, or even further afield to the continent and need our help, please visit bbc.co.uk/be on a show.